Hello everyone. Welcome back to the session of English. In this session, we are going to begin a new topic which is very interesting, and that is articles. Now in this session we are going to discuss first part of article. It means we'll divide this chapter into two halves. In this session we will be discussing part 1 of the chapter articles. Now what are articles? These are not actually the parts of a speech. Then what are these? Well, we'll discuss in this session now. Okay, so first of all, let us discuss that what we are going to discuss in this session. Okay, so in this session, the contents of this session are as follows. In this session, we will discuss, first of all, we'll discuss the introduction of articles. It means we will define articles and we'll see the introduction of this chapter. After that, we'll discuss some rules of indefinite articles, that is either a or n. Well, articles are of various types, and it's one of its types is indefinite article, and in that case we'll discuss a or n. Okay, and the rules which are related to the article indefinite article a or n. And after that, we'll discuss rules of definite article, and this definite article is the. Okay, so we'll discuss the use of the. It means where to use the in our sentences. We'll discuss this in this session. Well, this chapter is very important for everyone to know. We should know when to use a, when to use n, when to use the, because unnecessarily using these articles before any word will be ineffective, or you can say will make our speech or writing useless. Okay, so we should know when to use these articles or before which word. Okay, so first of all, let us discuss that what are articles. Okay, so first of all, let us have some introduction of articles. Now, if I want to tell you that what are articles, let us go to a point. Let us discuss a point over here. Suppose I say that I have a pen. Okay, there is a pen. Okay, I have this pen. If I say I have one pen, okay, if I say that I have one pen, now what does this mean? I have one pen. It means I have a pen. So this is a pen. Okay, pen is a noun, we know well, and that I have one pen. It means its number is 1. So what word is this one? One is actually an adjective. Okay, we know very well that any word which qualifies a noun by any aspect, whether it is a number, it is telling us the description of the noun, it is telling us the quality of a noun, it is telling us the color, size, shape, number, or anything about noun. That word is known as adjective. Okay, so if we see that this word, that is one pen, so this one will be an adjective. I can say the sentence, or I can make the sentence from this, that I have one pen. Okay, I have one pen. Okay, this is the sentence I can write. Now, if I say I have a pen, I have a pen. Now, does this make any difference? Are these two sentences different? No, the meaning of these two sentences are actually same. It means if I am saying I have one pen, that is also correct. I have a pen, that is also correct, because a pen also means the same, that I have one pen. It means if I want to discuss that whether the meaning of these two sentences are same or not, yes, of course, these two sentences are equal or same in case of meaning. It means this sentence is equal to this sentence in case of meaning. Okay, so the meanings of both the sentences are same. Okay, now one most important thing is that one can be defined by the word a. Okay, but here if we have any idea about the parts of a speech or the word which qualifies noun, this one is actually an adjective, and that we know very well. Okay, that this one is an adjective. Now, if I see this a, it is also playing the same role. That means this is also an adjective, because this is also qualifying a noun, and any word which qualifies a noun is an adjective. Though it is also known as determiner. But what is actually the difference among determiner, adjectives, and articles, that we will discuss later on. Now, in this part, we are just going to discuss that what are articles. So if you see this word a, this is actually an adjective, or you can say this word is behaving like an adjective. Okay, so due to this we can say that this one or this a, these are same and both are adjectives. It means this a, but we have heard a as an indefinite article. It means this can also be said as article and adjective. Okay, now you can say that this article is actually a special type of adjective. Now to define article, we can say that article is simply a special, it is actually a special type of adjective. Okay, it is actually the special type of adjective, and that is article. Okay, so from here we can say, or we can infer that articles are actually special types of adjectives. Okay, so from here we can infer that articles are just like adjectives, or they are some special type of adjectives. Okay, articles are a special type of adjectives. Okay, so from here it can be inferred. Okay, so here we can say that articles are actually the adjectives, or you can say the special type of adjectives. Okay, that is why we don't consider articles as the parts of a speech. Why so? Because adjective is actually a part of a speech, and articles are the special types of adjectives, or you can say article are also another type of adjectives. Okay, so the article is actually in the limits of adjectives, or you can say articles are the parts of adjectives. That is why we don't consider article as the separate part of a speech. Okay, so here we can conclude, we can infer from this part, the definition of article is that actually articles are the special type of adjectives, or these are the small words which are you can say which are written before the noun to specify them, before the nouns to specify them, to make them specific, and that this article is actually the special type of adjectives. Okay, so these are articles. Now let us go back to the slides. If you see this, articles are small words that come before nouns. Now this one is mandatory. A noun is mandatory to come because only if there is noun, this article can be placed, otherwise it will not. And help specify the definiteness and indefiniteness. It means it will specify whether the noun is specific or is it particular or not. Okay, so they specify the definiteness and indefiniteness of the noun they modify. Okay, the words which are modifying the nouns. In English language, there are 3 articles. Now, there are not actually 3 articles. There are 2 types of articles, which are 3. Now, what are these? Let us discuss. Actually, articles are of 2 types. Okay, articles are of 2 types. Now, what are the 2 types? One is definite and another is indefinite article. Okay, so we have 2 types of articles. One is definite article and another is indefinite article. Now, definite article is the, okay, which is used before those nouns that are definite, okay, or that can be made particular. But indefinite articles are again of 2 types. Now, what are the 2 types here? Either A or N. So these are the 2 types of indefinite article. Okay, so indefinite article can be further classified into 2 parts, either A or N, and definite article can be the. Okay, so these are 2 types of articles which can be further classified as A or N, and the definite article is only one, that is the. Okay, now we'll discuss these 3 articles and the rules of using these articles one by one. Okay, now first of all, we have the definite article, that is the. The definite article the is used when referring to a specific or particular noun. Indefinite articles, that is either A or N, and indefinite articles, the indefinite articles A and N are used when referring to non-specific or unspecific nouns. For example, that can be any. A is used before words begin with a consonant sound, and N is used before words that begin with a vowel sound. Now, this is not actually vowel, this is actually the vowel. The pronunciation of this word is vowel. And we know well that what are vowels? A, E, I, O, U. Now, here we cannot say that the word which begins with the consonant should be preceded by A, and the word which is beginning with a vowel should be preceded by N. No, it is not like that. Actually, the word which is the most important word in this vowel or consonant, that is sound. Okay, the sound, or when we are pronouncing that particular word. Okay, the pronunciation, if the pronunciation begins with either the consonant or the vowel, well, it will depend on the use of indefinite article, or the use of indefinite article depends on the sound or the pronunciation of that particular word, not the spelling. This is very, very important concept. How? Let us discuss this now. First of all, use of A before words that begin with a consonant sound. Now, the sound word is actually very, very important. It should not be like the spelling. Okay, it should be sound that should begin with consonant sound. For example, if we talk about Hindi Varnamala, okay, you must have heard about Hindi Varnamala. Now, what is Hindi Varnamala? Let me tell you this also. Hindi Varnamala, Varnamala means alphabet. Okay, alphabetical series or alphabet. Okay, now we know well that Hindi is also Hindi also has its alphabet, and English has also its alphabet. Now, if we talk about Hindi Varnamala, that is Hindi alphabet, we know well that Hindi alphabet or Hindi Varnamala is divided into two parts or two further parts. One is Swar and another is Vyanjan. So you must have heard this, that one is beginning with Swar and another is Vyanjan. Okay, so you must have heard these two words in Hindi. Okay, Swar and Vyanjan. So I'm writing this just to explain you this. Now, if any word is starting, or its pronunciation is starting with a swar, or swar is also known as vowel in English. Okay, there we use N before the noun. Okay, now if we talk about Hindi Varnamala or Hindi alphabet, we know well that Hindi alphabet or Hindi Varnamala is also divided into two parts. One is swar and another is vyanjan. Now I'm just telling you to see the pronunciation of the words. Okay, how we define them. Swar, one is swar and another is vyanjan. Now these are actually the two parts of Hindi Varnamala. Okay, you must have heard these words. Now swar is from a to angha, or vyanjan is from ka, kha, ga, gha, that so on. Okay, now whenever we pronounce any word, okay, for example, there is a word apple. Okay, now if I pronounce this word, this is apple, and it begin from, if I write this in Hindi, okay, so this will apple. Okay, like this. I must write this like this. Okay, so it is beginning with a, and a is a swar. Okay, and if it is a swar, so we can use we should use an apple. Okay, if I say umbrella, umbrella. Now if I write this word umbrella in Hindi, obviously it will become it will begin from a. Okay, or it sounds like beginning with a. Umbrella, if I pronounce this word umbrella, though it is beginning with the word U, sorry, with the letter U, but it sounds like beginning with the letter A. Okay, letter A, or if we talk about Hindi letter, that is, it is beginning with the swar A. Okay, so just because this is A, which is a swar, we should write an umbrella. Okay, but if we talk about a word university, now if we talk about university, or if I talk about the word uniform, okay, now if you pronounce these two words, that is university or uniform, so it sounds like ya. Okay, it sounds like ya, or it sounds like beginning with U, Y. Okay, as the spelling of U is Y O U, so it seems to it hears to us like beginning with Y. Therefore, before this word we write a university or a uniform. Okay, we cannot say an uniform. Why so? because the pronunciation of this word begins with a consonant sound, that is Y sound or Ya sound, that is Vyanjan sound in Hindi Varnamala. Therefore, we use A before uniform but N before umbrella because of the sounds that is created by pronouncing these two words. Okay, so in this manner, we use either A or N before any noun. Okay, but the word should be noun over there. Okay, so here if you see this, a car, so ka means it is beginning with the ka voice, so we are using a before it. A house, so obviously it is beginning with her sound, so I'm using a dog, so it is beginning with a da sound, consonant sound, I'm using a university because it is beginning with ya sound, or as if it were starting with y. Okay, so I have used a, not n, though it is beginning with u, which is a vowel. Okay, but it does not depend on spelling, it depends on the sound created by pronouncing that particular word. Now one-eyed man, again, if I pronounce this word, it is like v, or it is, if it is starting with v sound, therefore I have used a, not n. Okay, because the sound which is created by pronouncing this word is a consonant sound and not a vowel sound, that is why I'm using a before it, not n. Okay, now if I have to use n before a noun, so n before words that begin with a vowel sound. Okay, so we should place n before any noun if it begins with a vowel sound. For example, an apple, an elephant, an orange, an R. Now this word, though it is beginning with H, but in this word, this H is silent and the pronunciation of this word like R. Okay, so if we talk about this word, it pronounced like R and it's beginning with a sound. A is a swar or a vowel sound. So here we are using NR, not a her. Okay, an honest person, obviously it begins with O, though it is beginning with letter H, but H is silent over here, and when we have H as silent, we have the rest of the word as honest, and O is actually creating the consonant sound or the vyanjan, swar sound. It is creating actually the vowel sound or the swar sound. That is why we have to use an honest man. Okay, or an honest person. Remember, the choice between A and N is based on the sound of the following word, not its spelling. Now, this line is very, very important in placing either A or N before any noun. Okay, I hope you got it. Also, the noun should be singular because A and N means one. Therefore, it should be used before only singular noun or also that noun which is countable. Okay, so A and N can be placed only before singular countable noun. Okay, therefore in this manner we should either use A or N before any type of noun. Now, why to use these indefinite articles? What are actually the use of indefinite articles? Why to put them or why to place them before noun? Now there is a concept to use this indefinite article, and what is that? Let us discuss this. Now, if a sentence contains a noun and before a noun we are qualifying this noun with an adjective, okay, and before this adjective we have an adverb. Okay, we know well that adverb is a word which qualifies an adjective or a word or itself. Okay, so there is a sentence in which first we have adverb, after that we have adjective, and after that we have noun. It is necessary for us to place an indefinite article before this series. Okay, it is necessary for all of us to place an indefinite article before such a series. But in this case, this use of indefinite article depends on the nearest word. It means here which indefinite article we have to use, either A or N, depends totally on the nearest word, that is adverb. But here in this sentence, this noun is mandatory or it is compulsory to come. If it is not present in the sentence, there is no need to write an article or to place an article. How? Let us see some examples. If I say Sita is a very beautiful girl. Okay, this is a sentence. Sita is a very beautiful girl. Now we can have various combinations of this same sentence. Here it is written, Sita is a very beautiful girl. Now let us see these words. Very is adverb, beautiful is adjective, which is qualifying a noun, that is girl. Okay, so girl is a noun and we are using a. I cannot write the sentence Sita is very beautiful girl. No, rather I write Sita is a very beautiful girl. So a is mandatory over here and it is coming before the word very. So it is used, I'm using the word a. Okay, now I can also write this sentence like Sita is a beautiful girl. Sita is a beautiful girl. So I can also write this sentence. Okay, this is also correct. This is also fine. I can also write a sentence, Sita is a, suppose, not girl, I'm writing here a student. Okay, this is only a noun. So Sita is a student. Okay, now if I see all these sentences in this, beautiful is adjective and this girl is a noun. Now I have removed adverb from this sentence, but the sentence is correct. Why so? Because I have just removed this adverb. In the next sentence, I have removed both the parts of a speech, adverb and adjective, and I have written only the noun, which is student. So here again, the sentence is correct. So all these three sentences are correct. Okay, Sita is a very beautiful girl. That is also correct. Sita is a beautiful girl. That is also correct. Sita is a student. That is also correct. But if I say, let me say another sentence. Sita is, sorry, this is Sita is a very beautiful. Now, do you think this sentence is correct? Sita is a very beautiful. No, the sentence is incorrect. Okay, this sentence is incorrect. Why so? Because here we do not have noun, whereby noun is mandatory to place an article before it. If there is no noun in the sentence, no article will be used. Now, this is the concept which I wanted to tell you, that this concept is very, very important. In a sentence, there is very important to have a noun. It is mandatory to have a noun, otherwise we cannot use or we cannot place any article in that sentence if there is no noun to modify it, or sorry, if there is no noun to be modified by it. Okay, so in a sentence there is a noun which is mandatory to place an article before that, otherwise the article will not be used. However, if we talk about the position of this article, obviously it will be it will be preceded by the adjective or the adverbs used before these nouns. But but if the noun is not there, the article is of no use over there. Now, to rectify this sentence, what we can do, we can simply remove this a and we can write Sita is very beautiful. The sentence will be correct then. Okay, otherwise the sentence will be incorrect. Okay, so if I don't place a noun, there is no need to put an article over there. Okay, now this is actually the concept of using indefinite article before the noun. Okay, and there are various other concepts where we can ignore using a or n, or where to change the position of a or n in a sentence. What are the situations that we will discuss later on? Now, I hope that you must have understood this concept, and this concept is really very, very important to place an article before the noun in a sentence. Okay, now let us move to the another slide. Use of a or n before acronyms. Now, what are the acronyms? Acronyms are actually the abbreviations or the short forms. Okay, depending on the pronunciation. So it also depends on the pronunciation of the first letter. Okay, for example, if I say he's an FBI agent, so FBI agent can be written as EFFBEEI. So F is actually the pronunciation of this word. F is somewhere like this. Okay, and if it is like this, it is beginning with the swar sound or the vowel sound. That is why we should write N, not A. FBI. Though F is a consonant, yet we should use N just because of the pronunciation of that particular letter. Okay. So before the pronunciation of the acronyms, if they are creating the sound of a vowel, we should use N before it. Okay. Now, if we see the word UFO, though U is beginning with a vowel, still, if we see this the pronunciation of this word, it will be beginning with ya, which is a vyanjan. Also, if we talk about the English pronunciation, it will be like U. Y is beginning with Y, which is a consonant. So that this is creating the consonant sound. That is why we are using a UFO, not any UFO. Okay, so this is very important in placing either A or N before any noun. Now, another is use A or N before a singular countable noun when it is mentioned for the first time and consistently throughout the text. Now, whenever a word or a noun has been used in the beginning of the sentence, and we are using some sentence for that particular thing, so we can use A before it or N before it depending on the pronunciation of that particular word. For example, a cat sat on the fence. Okay, so we are talking about a singular countable noun, that is cat, which can be any. Okay, so we are describing a cat, that there is a cat over there. Okay, so that cat can be any. That is not a particular cat, but there is, we are describing about a noun which is sitting over there on the fence, so we can use A before it. An old lady passed by, so that can be any old lady, but I'm just telling you that some old lady. Okay, an old lady means some old lady passed by, so we can use N before the old lady, and N depends on the pronunciation of the nearest word, that is old, old, and O is beginning with a vowel sound. That is why we have used N. And also you can see the structure of the sentence or the pattern of the sentence here. Lady is a noun and old is an adjective, and before this we need to put an indefinite article. Okay, the next rule is use A or N before a singular countable noun referring to any one of the group of things. For example, I need a pen to write this note. Okay, so I need a pen. There is just a pen. There is a category, so any type of pen, but I need a pen to write it. Okay. Now use A or N with professions and titles. For example, she wants to be an engineer. Okay, he is a doctor, so he's a doctor. Doctor is actually the profession before which we can use A. That is not a particular doctor. That is why if she's any kind of doctor or he's any kind of doctor, so he's a doctor that I'm mentioning. Another one, use A or N before expressions of quantity or speed. For example, a dozen eggs, an hourglass. Okay, so anything which clarifies the quantity or speed, which shows the measuring units, we can use A or N before that. Okay, a dozen means 12 in units. Do not use A or N with uncountable nouns or plural nouns. Now, as I told you before as well, that A and N, that is indefinite article, that means one. Okay, A and N, that means one in quantity. Now, if something is one, that should be one only, and one is singular and also used for the countable nouns. We can count one as the singular countable units. If the thing is uncountable, if the noun is uncountable, we cannot obviously count it either in one or in any number. For example, if I talk about milk, obviously milk is uncountable. I cannot say one milk. That is why we cannot use A before it or N before it. Okay, so I need water before water, because water is uncountable noun. We cannot say water or N water. Okay, she has cats. Now cats are plural, that is why I cannot use A or N. Why so? Because cats are plural. I cannot say that that is one cat. Okay, cats are plural, and plural are not one, whereas A and N, that means one, as I told you in the beginning of the chapter only, where I described you that one is an adjective and it serves as the same meaning like A or N. Okay, now the another rule is use A or N before a singular countable noun used in a generic sense. For example, a dog is a loyal animal. Now I'm describing about a dog that is called a loyal animal or the faithful animal. So a dog means any dog. Okay, but that is a category of the dogs. Okay, so it means I'm not talking about a single dog. In fact, I'm talking about the entire category of dog. That is why I'm using a before it. Okay, just for example, a cow is an useful animal, or a dog is a faithful animal, like that. Now use a or n before an adjective followed by a singular countable noun. As I told you, this structure I have already told you. For example, he is a wise man. So wise, you can say adjective, and after this man is noun, and before this structure we need to use an indefinite article. So before wise is beginning with the consonant sound. That is why we have used a before it. She is an intelligent student. So intelligent is an adjective, student is noun, and this intelligent is beginning with I or the vowel sound. That is why I have used n before it. Okay, she's an intelligent student. Okay, now if I just remove this intelligent from here, I can write she's a student. Okay, so this can be the concept to use indefinite article in a sentence. Now let us move to the next one. Use a or n before singular countable nouns used as examples. An apple is a type of fruit. Now singular countable nouns used as examples. If I want to show the examples of something, I can use a before it. For example, an apple is a type of fruit. So the type of fruit, and I'm showing the example, which is an apple. So I can use an apple. A banana is a type of fruit. Pumpkin is a type of vegetable. A carrot is a type of vegetable. So these can be shown as the examples before which we can use indefinite articles, either a or n, depending on the sound of the word or sound created by that pronouncing that particular word. Use a or n when referring to something for the first time, even if the plural or countable. Uncountable. Yesterday I saw a movie yesterday. That movie was excellent. Okay, so a movie before which we can use a. However, this is not actually the complete rule. You cannot say that this is the rule that we are referring to, that for the first time. But if it is only for the singular, we can use a or n. Okay, if it is written, even if it is plural or uncountable, that should be ignored. Okay. Use a when making a common noun of a proper noun to express quality. Now, if I express about any person, and I'm expressing a quality of that particular person, or about some quality of a particular person which is like someone else, so we can use a or n before that quality which I'm indicating. For example, if you see this example, there is a teacher inside him. Now, what inside him? It does not mean that a teacher is fitted into his body. No, not like that. A teacher, there is a teacher inside him. It means he has some quality of a teacher which makes him rectify the mistakes made by others while speaking. For example, suppose there is a person A, and he used to rectify, or he used to accost everyone when they create mistake while speaking. So he accosts everyone that here you are wrong grammatically, here you are wrong grammatically. It means there is a teacher inside him. Now it is not like that a teacher is fitted into his body. It is like that he possesses a quality of a teacher that enables him, or that makes him to accost everyone, to rectify them, or rectify them while they are creating any mistake while they are speaking. Okay, for example, there is a person A. Now what he does, wherever he goes, if he finds any person who is speaking grammatically incorrect, he used to accost them and rectify them. No, you are saying something wrong, you have to say this. For example, he went to a party, and there he find a group where Z, Y, X, U, V, they all were standing, and among these, this X person, he created a few mistakes in grammar. Okay, for example, he said umbrella. Okay, he said umbrella. Now what this A did, he went to them and he rectified X. No, you are saying wrong, it should be an umbrella, not a umbrella. You are wrong over there. It means there is a teacher inside him. It means he possesses a quality of a teacher that makes him or rectify others while they are making mistake while speaking. Okay, so it is just a quality of this particular person, though he's not a teacher. Okay, so this is just like that. Okay, so we can use a before that particular quality. So here we have used the before this teacher, because this is not actually a person, this is actually the quality which we are telling about. Okay, so this is just a quality which we are expressing of that person. Okay, so in this manner we can use a or and before that particular thing. For example, if I say there is a mother inside him, now obviously mother is not into his body, there is a quality of mother which is inside him as well. Okay, so in this manner we can use a or and. So this is somewhere literary device that has been used over here. Okay, now let us move to the next one. Use a to represent a weakened form of preposition. In, for example, he earns 6 lakh rupees, 6 lakh rupees a year. Now whenever we talk about par or per, okay, whenever we talk about per, for example, per month, per year, per after every quarter, so that which shows the lump sum measurement of something, or which shows the intervals or the small intervals of something, so we can use a. Okay, for example, in the sentence you can see he earns 6 lakh rupees a year. A year means he earns 6 lakh per annum, or in a particular year he earns 6 lakh. Okay, if I say he earns 40,000 a month, it means in a month he earns 40,000 rupees. Okay, so in this manner we can use a before the duration of that particular year or month. A year means in 1 year. An indefinite article is used when referring to a person unknown to the speaker. If the person which someone is referring and he is unknown to speaker, we can use a. For example, now let me tell this by a situation. Suppose there is a person A, okay, and there is a person B in a home. They are sitting in the house. Now the door knocks. Okay, now this A, he went to open the door, and when he opens the door, he finds some X is standing over there. Now A does not know him. Okay, he does not know Mr. X. Now he asks him that what do you want? So X says that I want to meet B. Okay, now A asks, okay, what is your name? So Mr. X says that my name is Mr. X. Okay, now he comes to B, that some Mr. X has come to meet you. So he can also say that a Mr. X has come to meet you. That means some Mr. X has come to meet him. Now what some? Some does not mean that there are some. Some is not for that countable thing. Some is actually that any, or there is some person. Okay, some means any. Okay, so a Mr. Solanki is equal to some Mr. Solanki. It means there is a name, there is a person named Mr. Solanki. Who he is, don't know. Okay, so if the speaker is if the person whom someone is referring to, if he's unknown to that particular person, we can use unknown to the speaker, he can use a or n for that particular person. Okay, the indefinite article is employed before the adjectives like little or few to convey the sense of some. How? Let me tell you. There is word few and another word is little. Now both of these are adjectives, but what is the difference actually? Few is used before the countable nouns. Okay, for the countable nouns we use few. If the noun is countable, we use few. If the noun is uncountable, we use little. Okay, so these are two types of noun, either countable or uncountable. Before countable we use few, and before uncountable we use little. Now there are two more words. First of all, a few, and another is the few. Likewise, in little we have a little, and another one is the little. Okay, so these are three words. Actually, we have already discussed these three words, or in fact we are going to discuss these three words in adjective part as well. But let me tell you over here as well that few, a few, the few, these are actually the words or the adjectives. Okay, here few means when we are talking about no or nothing. Okay, negligible. or nothing or equivalent to zero. Okay, if the quantity is zero, we can use few. If something has some, okay, it means if we talk about a few, it means there are some. It means this creates a positive sense, whereas this creates a negative sense. And the few means is sufficient. It means whatever required or how much ever required. So it is actually adequate. For the adequate quantity, we use the few. Let us take an example. Suppose there is a person. This is a person, okay, and his name is Motu. Okay, his name is Motu. He's feeling very hungry, extremely hungry. He's feeling, okay. Now what he does, he went to a shop. Okay, he went to a shop and he asks for a. This is Motu, and he asked for these are his hands. Okay, well, don't go on my drawing. This is just to create create your imagination. Okay, he went to a shop of samosa and he asked for the confectioner for the samosa. So the confectioner offered him only a piece of aloo. Okay, sorry, a piece of potato, a piece of mashed potato. Now, will he be able to satisfy his hunger? No, not at all. So that means this will not work. Okay, this will not work. So this is little. It means equal to nothing, because that will not make his hunger satisfied. In fact, it will instigate his hunger. Okay, now it does not mean at all. Now after that, he went to another confectioner who offered him suppose two pieces of samosas. Okay, now he gave him two pieces of samosas. Now somewhere his hunger was a little satisfied. It means he was not satisfied completely, but okay, something has worked for his hunger. So that is actually the a little part. That means some. Okay, so this a little or a few means some. It means that is in positive quantity. That means some. And if we talk about then he went to another confectioner who gave him 5 samosas. Now he got sufficient number of samosas as per his requirement, so that made him satisfied of his hunger, that made his hunger satisfied, so that was sufficient. Okay, now let us take some other example. Suppose you have only 10 rupees and you went to the shop from where you wanted to buy some things to decorate your home. Okay, you found a chandelier over there which costed rupees 10,000. Now you have only 10 rupees. Is your 10 rupee note anything, will use anything before that 10,000 rupees amount? No, not at all. So that is few rupees. Why, sir? Because that is equivalent to zero. If you have that and if you don't have that, that is equal, because that will not matter at all. That is useless before that 10,000 amount. Now you thought to take a lamp from there, but that lamp costed 25 rupees, but you have only 10 rupees. It means, yes, you can show that, okay, I have only 10 rupees, but this is of 25 rupees. So that will really look like something. Okay, that is something which can be, you can show that, okay, I have 10 rupees. Another part of amount I will give you later on. So that will show the positive sense. Okay, now that is some. Okay, but if you go to another shop where you find a candle and you thought to take that candle in the house and to lit that up, so that candle costed 10 rupees. Now you have sufficient balance with you. Why so? Because the candle costed 10 rupees and you too have 10 rupees, so that will be the few. Okay, the few rupees. Why so? Because that is sufficient amount that you wanted. Okay, so this is actually the difference among few, a few and the few, and little, a little and the little. So this a few or a little, that means some. Okay, it means some in quantity, which shows the positive sense. Okay, so a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. Now we know well that this is the you can say this is the very famous, very popular, in fact the most important sayings, or you can say a proverb, that if someone lacks knowledge, that is okay. If someone has the complete knowledge, that is also okay. But if someone has a little knowledge, it means some knowledge only, that is dangerous thing. Why so? Because either you should have the complete or the nil knowledge about something. Otherwise, only a little knowledge will create, or will make you in harm always. Okay. Now she has a few apples in her basket. A few means some. Okay. And a little means some knowledge, only some part of knowledge you have, not the entire part. Okay. Use the before. Now from here we'll discuss the rules of definite article, that is the. So here the use of indefinite article ends, and we'll begin to use the we'll begin to read the use of definite articles. However, there are some more examples of using indefinite article, but that we will discuss later on. So here now we'll discuss the rules of definite article the. Okay. First of all, use the before any specific, particular, or unique singular and plural nouns. Now, it can be used before singular as well as plural nouns, but that should be particular or unique. I saw the movie last night. It means you are referring to a specific movie, that I saw this movie last night. Okay. So, for example, if I say I have seen A, B, C movie. Now you can say, yes, I also saw the same movie last night. Okay. So I saw the movie last night. It means some particular movie which you are referring to. Okay. So before that, we can use the. If we make anything particular, any noun particular, we can use the before it. Use the before superlative. Now this one is very, very important. Adjectives have 3 degrees of adjectives. There are 3 degrees of adjective, or degrees of comparison. Positive degree, comparative degree, and the superlative degree. For example, good, better, best. So best is the superlative degree of adjective. So before every superlative degree of adjective, we always use the. Okay. So the plus superlative degree of adjective. This is very, very important. So we always use the before any superlative degree of adjective. Okay. So we can write, he's the tallest boy in her class. He's the tallest boy in his class. Now tallest is the superlative degree of adjective, boy is noun, and the is used before the superlative degree of adjective, that is the definite article. Now let us move to the next one. Use the before ordinal numbers to denote a specific position in a sequence. Now there are 2 types of numbers. One is ordinal and another one is cardinals. Okay. Now ordinals are actually when we say first, second, third in the spellings as well, whereas cardinals are 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Okay. Now we cannot write ordinal like this. Okay. We cannot write a Roman and over it we cannot have the superscripts. Okay. We can only have the superscripts on the numbers. If I write this one, this is correct, but if I write this one, this is incorrect. Okay. However, we used to write this in the childhood, which is incorrect. So before any ordinal number, we should use the. Okay. For example, the first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, and so on. So the first chapter of the book was fascinating. It means it was very good. So chapter first is the ordinal number before which we have used the. Okay. Now let us move to the next one. Use the before unique nouns like geographical features, monuments, and famous buildings. For example, the Eiffel Tower is in Paris. Now we know well that Eiffel Tower is the name of a monument. So before that, we need to use the Taj Mahal, the Qutub Minar, the Gateway of India, whichever is the monument or the name of the monument, we should use the before it. Okay. Use the before nouns with of showing position or association. Now when we relate something to something else, so we can use the before that as well. For example, the capital of India is New Delhi. Now here noun, after that we have of, that is a preposition or any preposition. Okay, any preposition it can be. And after that another noun, after that another preposition, after that. So if there is a series like this, we should use the before it. For example, the capital of India is New Delhi. So of is the preposition and India is again noun, capital is noun. So before this this pair, we should use the. Okay, this is the definite article. Okay, so definite article should be used before any such series. Okay, for example, the man in black. Okay, now use the before any musical instrument. If there is the name of any musical instrument, we should use the before it. For example, she plays the piano. Okay, so piano is the musical instrument before which we can use the. She plays the guitar, she loves to play the guitar. So the guitar, the piano, the tabla, or whatever musical instrument is there, we should use the before it always. Now use the before proper nouns followed by common nouns. Okay, I met Alice, the president of the club. Okay, so the president is the common noun, and we are referring this president for the Alice. Okay, use the before a specific group of people. The elderly need special care. Now elderly means those people who are elder, okay, or who are big. So the before that. Now use the with nationalities and plural countries. The UAE, the USA. Now actually not the nationalities. What happens if any words, let me rectify this. If any words, it begins with either union, okay, republic. If any name of any country, if it begins with union, republic, or Soviet, if it, or united, if any country, if any country's names begins with any of these words, we should use the before it. Okay, for example, the United Arab Emirates, or the USA, the United States of America, the Republic or the Soviet Republic, okay, the USSR. So we use the before it. Okay, now one more thing, we can also say the Indian, the American before the nationalities. So we can use the. Use the before the names of oceans, seas, rivers, and mountain ranges. So the Indian Ocean, the Pacific Ocean. So before the names of the oceans, we can use the. The Arabian Sea, the Red Sea, the Ganga, the Brahmaputra, and mountain ranges, the Himalayas. Okay, but we cannot use the before the peaks of the mountains. Okay, the Himalayas. So we have used the before it. But if I say the Mount Everest, that will be incorrect. Why, sir? Mount Everest is actually the peak of the mountain. Before the names of the peaks, okay, peaks of the mountains, we cannot use the. For example, if I say Mount Everest is the highest peak we know well. It is the highest peak in the world, but we cannot use the before it. Why so? Because this is the peak of the mountain, not the range. If we talk about the ranges, for example, the Himalayas, the Aravallis, we can use the before it. Okay. Now use the before certain time expressions. The week after next, the day after, the day before. So in this expression, we can use the. Use definite article the before an adjective representing a class of persons. For example, the poor or the rich. For example, if an adjective behaves like a noun to express the entire category, we can use the before it. If I say the poor, I'm not talking about a particular person. I'm talking about the entire category of the poor people. Now, the definite article the is used before the comparative degree in case of choice. Now, if I want to make, if the comparative degree is there and if I want to make the choice of it, okay, so we can use the. Now, whenever we compare two things and also we are comparing, we are making the choice among them, we should use the. For example, the bigger box, the heavier it is, okay. The bigger the box, the heavier it is. On both the sides, we have comparative degree, we can have the. Also, if I say she is the better of the two sisters, Now, whenever we have such pair or such expression like of the two sisters, of the two brothers, so whenever we have this expression of the two, so in that case, before every comparative degree, we can use the. Okay, we can use the before any comparative degree if it makes the phrase like of the two. Okay, of the two plus noun. Okay, if this is the situation, we can use the before the comparative degree. In short, this can be the trick. So all these were the uses of definite or indefinite articles. I hope you understood each and every point, and this much is clear to you all. You find this session beneficial. I hope this much is clear to you all. And but this is not actually the complete part of articles. We'll have to discuss further about the part about the chapter article or about chapter article, we have to look for the omissions of article, whether to use them or not, and how to use them or not. Well, that we will discuss in the next session, and also the miscellaneous part of this chapter will discuss in the next session. I hope that you find this session beneficial, and you understood each and every concept we read in this session. Well, thanks to you.